Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
You've been told, change your thoughts, make sure you're not wavering. You can't think opposing to your desire. Next thing you know, you're literally micromanaging your thoughts like a ticking time bomb. Well, let me get this straight. It's not your thoughts that are creating your reality. It's not your thoughts that manifest. It's your dominant state that manifests. Stay tuned because I'm gonna break down in this video what this actually means, how your state is creating your reality, and how your thoughts are just feedback of where your state is. Stay tuned. It's your girl Cindy, your mindset and life coach that helps women and men how to change your mindset when it comes to relationships, money, health, business, and all areas of life. I'm also your licensed nurse that can help you manifest your health issues away. And on this channel, I teach you to manifest the right way. And for some of you, I'm here to help you get your sanity back. So you heard it, your thoughts don't create your reality, it's your state. I like to see thoughts as just feedback, and I feel like when we hear that it's your thoughts that manifest, you tend to notice you become way more obsessed with what you're thinking in your head. You start becoming more anxious and flipping thoughts nonstop all day and really trying to make sure you're not wavering. Now, let me talk about wavering for a second. Wavering is not even a thing I like to talk about because if you're thinking against your manifestation, all that means is you're just not in the state. That's all it is. That's why people who don't affirm constantly can manifest their desire very easily. And they're people who don't even use robotic affirmations. They're not using any technique because they're just occupying a certain feeling, a state of already having that thing. When I'm thinking against my desire, which honestly doesn't really happen, I just know I'm out of my state of having it. I'm just very aware that I'm not occupying the feeling of having the money, having the specific person, having the thing that I want in my reality. You just need to use your thoughts as feedback. Okay, I shifted out of my state, so I need to go back into the state. And how do we do that? You can use a technique to shift your state, or you can just simply ask yourself in that moment, what would it feel like if I already had that desire? If it came tomorrow, how would I be feeling right now? And that feeling you get is what you want to occupy every single day and allow your manifestation to come to you because you already have it, okay? So what's manifesting is your I am. What do I have right now? What is my I am? If your I am is I don't have my specific person, I'm not a millionaire, that's what's gonna continue to manifest, not the thoughts. The thoughts are just feedback. Hey, you're in an I am where you don't have it. So if you really wanna get things straight, what is the state that manifests? It's relief. Relief is a state that manifests everything. So just think when you already get that grade that you wanted, you feel relief. So think when you finally pass that quiz that you needed to pass, you feel relief. Think about when a problem has finally been solved that you've been anxious about, relief. Everything that you wanted and you got it, you felt relieved. That is the state of having everything. That's why when you feel calm, you feel relieved, you're present, you're in the present moment all the time, things seem to flow into your life consistently. And I promise you, your subconscious mind knows exactly what you want, okay? It knows what your desire is. It's not dumb. Now, before you come at me like, well, Cindy, I thought about something and it happened. I had something pop up in my head, these words in my head, and I saw it. Yes, now don't get me twisted that you can have a thought and you may see it reflected into your physical reality. But that's not what's dominantly manifesting your physical reality. What's manifesting is your dominant state of being, and you know this. When you're dominantly in a state of insecure, you don't know your worth, you're in a state of poverty, you're in a state of nobody loves me, dominantly. What is dominantly reflected in your physical reality? You will find your way, some way, shape, or form in situations that have to prove that right, because that is your dominant state. That's why you hear about somebody affirming nonstop, doing these crazy ass challenges all day long and nothing changing because they didn't change their state. It's that feeling is finally done. I finally got the job. I finally got the relationship. It's finally done, and you want to feel that way consistently. Now, about the 200,000, 50,000 affirmation shit, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of you guys aren't listening to me. Some of you guys are doing these things and not listening to me. Let me get this straight. If you're gonna do this, because I can't tell you what to do, if you are gonna do that crazy shit, just make sure you have a good self-concept and make sure you're coming in with the intention that it's not the repetition, it's not the amount of numbers, it's I already have it and I'm only doing this to just continue occupying the state. That's why some people fail with robotic affirming and some people don't. Do I use robotic affirming? Yes, I do, but not in the way that it's being taught on the internet. It's not about keep affirming so it can finally show up. No, it's about the affirming has to shift my state of consciousness so that way I can get my manifestation. And remember, it's I already have it, okay? It's not about I'm getting something, it's I already have it. You're shifting your state to it's already something I obtain. So here are little hacks you can do on a daily basis that can shift your state of consciousness that I still apply to this day. Going to the gym. Yes, the gym does make you feel better, does regulate your nervous system, and regulating your nervous system makes it very easy for you to occupy a state. Staying busy. Sometimes when you just stay busy and go about your day and just take your focus off things that you cannot stand in your life is what changes your life. I promise this, it works every single time. When I just stop checking for stuff, when I just go about my day, enjoy it, have fun with a friend, go out to brunch with a friend, take a nice walk, have a self-care day, just literally take my focus off of things that I cannot stand, that is what shifts my state of consciousness because I'm just not paying attention to things. The brain is designed to be negative. Your brain is literally designed to focus on problems and problem solve. It literally, you could be having a good day and then, oh, but that money didn't come through today. Oh, specific person still hasn't texted me. It's like your brain just wants to consistently remind you that that thing is not in your life. That is why it's so hard for certain people to manifest. Well, a lot of us, okay, right? That is why it's so hard for a lot of people to get their desire because their mind is consistently reminding them it's not here. They're not texting you. That's why people have a hard time shifting their consciousness, their state into that reality where it already exists. And what does it feel like to be in a state of having something? You know that feeling when you get something that you've wanted after a while. You finally got a car, relieved, happy, okay? And then it becomes a neutral state, okay? Once you start occupying the state, you will feel happy and excited. You will feel like you already have it. And then what happens? It becomes your dominant state and it becomes a normal experience to where you're not even thinking about your desire anymore. And then when you do think about your desire, this is how you know you're in the state. Thoughts will naturally pop up as if you already have that desire. That's how you know you're in the state of obtaining something. I know this because I'm always occupying a state of having something. And then instantly, it's reflected, okay? Things change very fast when you shift your state, guys. It doesn't have to take years like a lot of coaches preach. It doesn't take long at all. That's why I get success stories with people who shifted their state and didn't use techniques. And I get a lot of success stories with people who do. But remember, when I teach you guys to use techniques, I tell them it's not the technique that's manifesting. You only want to use it with the intentions of, this is to shift my state of awareness. I just want to shift things to where I'm aware that I already have the thing. And then I can go about my day. You want to learn how to detach from your problems in life, detach from the I don't have it, detach from that I am. You don't want to be that identity anymore. You want to be in a mindset, a state where it's already something that is yours. What feeling would you get? You feel relieved, you'd feel loved, you'd feel chosen. They're already texting you. I had somebody in my TikTok live today go like, so I've been going to the gym, I've been focusing on myself and working on my self-concept, but I want her to text me. You're not in the state. Either you're in it or not. Yes, self-concept is the foundation, and I will always preach that self-concept is the key for you guys to manifest everything. But remember, you can have a good self-concept and still feel like you don't obtain a certain person. Okay? But I have told you guys self-concept can shift your state into having something, right? It definitely can. But there is a lot of people who have changed their self-concept and still have not shifted into the state, the identity of already just having that one specific desire. Okay, that is one thing that you really want to remember. Work on your self-concept, please, though, because some of you guys should not be trying to manifest a specific outcome and you guys feel horrible about yourself. You got a lot of issues, because it is going to be hard to occupy a state of having something when you have a shaky self-concept, and I will always preach that. Remember, you're shifting your I am. What lens are you seeing your reality out of? How do you see your reality? Remember, your imagination is what places you into the state, okay? That's why you can get an image in your mind about something that's not very desirable, and then you feel insecure. So remember, the imagination places you into the state. You get a vivid image in your mind of your specific person cheating on you, let's say, and then what do you feel after? Insecure, and like it already had happened. And if you continue with this, you will start to occupy a state, a reality where they're cheating on you, right? And we don't want to do that. That's why so within, so without, it doesn't matter what your reality is showing you. You can have something. You've seen people, they've been in a relationship, they have the relationship out here, but internally they don't feel like they have the relationship. They're in a state of consciousness where they feel like the person is leaving them or cheating or whatever crazy thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. That reality that they're feeling is a state. When you guys are feeling insecure about something, needy about something. It's so easy to explain states when you don't have it, right? Occupying states is very simple, guys. But remember, the techniques, if it's not putting you into the state, it's not gonna work. Your thoughts don't manifest. It's that state of consciousness. How are we seeing our reality every single time we wake up? And how are we feeling? How we're feeling and where our focus is going and the images that are naturally popping up in our head all day are telling us where our state is. When you're in the state, you're gonna find yourself naturally getting the images of having that thing without forcing it, and you're gonna notice that your thoughts naturally align with that desire. You're not forcing things. You're gonna also notice that your behaviors change. You're gonna notice that you're not gonna entertain certain things. It may be something as simple as setting a boundary with somebody. That's how you know you shifted your state. You will know you're in the state. You will be in the state when you don't care about time. You will be in the state when you feel like you already have it and your 3D reality is no longer taking you out of the feeling that you're occupying. Your reality is no longer dictating of the feeling that you already have of having your desire. It no longer is fucking with you. If it's messing with you easily, if you're constantly checking, you're not in the state. It's not the checking that's the problem. It's more so you guys are checking for things and then you guys are shifting out of your state very easily. That's the problem that I have with checking. Checking, I don't necessarily have an issue with. It's just you guys are allowing things to change the state that you were occupying. So I know you like my video. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. One-on-one coaching is on sale if you guys want to join coaching, the academy, if you need to work on your self-concept, my ebook is available all in my website. I love you guys, and please click on the video that's showing on the screen and see you for my next video.